Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Kubernetes. Kubernetes is developed by Google and it is an open source platform that automates container operations. It eliminates many of the manual processes involved in deploying and scaling containerized applications. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Kubernetes will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
Now guys, we have created many pods actually. Now how to work with pods? How to work with pods? That's the question. Okay. So now some of the commands which I'm going to share with you directly, and you're going to check it out also. So please see my screen here. kubectl get pods, kubectl get ns. As of now, I think 6-7 people are participating in my machine. Okay. So now, first you get the pods. kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. And if you look at this here, I do not have any pod, so I have to create it. So let me create a pod. So kubectl create -f pod1.yaml -n is equal to Rajesh. Guys, I created this pod. So kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. Right now this pod is running. So many things we can do with it. For example, let me list out those commands. See here. Okay. So here you see troubleshooting and debugging commands. So many things we can do here. Okay. So we can describe the pod, we can see the logs of the pod, you can attach, eject, okay. You can proxy the pod, cp the pod, okay. So many things you can do that. So let's do it. So for example, I am going to describe first. So kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. This pod, can I describe it? So describe pod -n is equal to Rajesh, but you have to give the pod name also, right? So describe pod, but name of the pod is hello pod Rajesh. See here, look at this descriptions very well. You have a name, namespace, node, labels, IP address of pod, containers, conditions, volume, events. So many things are there in the pod. You have to check it out very carefully. Now, can I see the pods logs? Actually, it's not a pods log. You read this. You are going to check out the logs of the container. Okay. So how can I do that? So here, kubectl get pods Rajesh. Yeah. So this is the description you want to make it. So what you want to do? kubectl logs, okay, of the pod which is here, and -n Rajesh. Now if I see this is the logs. This is the logs of the pod. Okay, this is the logs. Now can we access this logs? So get logs -n is equal to Rajesh -o void here. See here. Curl HTTP. I'm accessing the Nginx, so I can access it. This is the port, right? Now see the logs. See here, one line. Look at this. This is Nginx. Okay. Can I hit one more time? See. Third times. See, 3 times. Okay. So yes, you can see the logs of the. You can describe. You can see the logs. Many things you can do that. Unfortunately, describe command I lost it. I don't know how come. So kubectl describe pod name is and -n is equal to Rajesh. So this is a command you can try. History. So yeah, this is the command. You can try it or describe. So describe, I talked about it. Logs, I talked about it. Attach. So attach an object. So what you can do, guys? Do you remember what is a Docker attach? Anyone remember that? What is it? What was Docker attach?
Yes. You can just log into the container. You can just attach the container to your machine.
It will give the inputs to the containers, like keyboard and mouse.
Anything else, guys?
You have to keep the PID one running.
No. Attach will attach to the PID one, right?
You will become the Docker.
You'll become container. Yeah, PID one, right? Attach. So same behavior you have in the Kubernetes. So you want to become an Nginx? Let me show you here. kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. This pod. Okay, it has a Nginx running. So let me show you here. What should I do? Attach, right? So kubectl attach. Okay, this one -n is equal to Rajesh. See, and open up a duplicate session. CentOS. Okay, so I do this. See here. Attach. I become a Nginx. Now what I will do? Look at my screen, please. See here. See, every 2 seconds I'm hitting that. You see here? So attach, you become a PID one. You are seeing that screen. And from one place I'm hitting. Okay. So this is the way you can do that. Attach. You can become a container also. So Docker attach and this command is matching. Okay. And in the other console, I run this watch. Okay. So guys, yeah, please. Now there is the exec. I hope you remember.
Rajesh, before that, in one pod we can have multiple containers. So
if you do an attach in this format, what could be the expected behavior?
Yeah, very good question actually. So you should ask this question here only. I was waiting for that, but no one asked this question. So what about if the pod is having more than one container, then which pod you will describe? Which container you will describe? Which logs you want to see? Which attach you will do? So basically, guys, you have to use the -c option, sidecar container. Okay. So here, if you want to use it, kubectl, what is that? Logs -h health. Okay. See here. So command will be same, but you have to give the name of the container for. So remember, pod has a multiple containers, but first container we call it main container. So whenever you run the regular command, it give you the output of main container. But if you want to try it out other container, then you have to try -c. Okay, -c is equal to container. Make sense? But the question is, how do you get a container name? So describe pod, you get all the containers. Here you can describe and get all the containers and so forth. Make sense, guys?
Also, the container name is there in the pod pod also, right? In the YAML.
What is that?
No, the container name will also be there in the YAML file, right? That is the same, or in the describe we get a different name?
Sorry, I couldn't understand you.
Can you just execute describe once? I'll get my answer. In the YAML, we define the container, right, Rajesh? So do we get the same name or anything different we get?
Okay, container names.
Yeah.
So hello container CTR. So this container name will get it. In fact, if you are not giving that, they will generate also some random container name with some number. So here you see hello CTR is given. But if you don't give, so they will generate some random container name also in some situation.
Okay, Rajesh, thank you.
Okay. And by the way, every pod, okay, right now I'm talking about the pod, no? All this behavior when the random container name will be there, this will be there in the RC case when you deploy multiple container. In case of pod, it will not come. But in RC, remember RC and deployment. In this case, they will generate some random name for that. So I'll show you anyways. That's it. Okay, so here you can attach and -c you can do that. Exec, you can go inside a container. Same behavior, something similar to Docker. So kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. So here I want to go inside that. So kubectl exec -it, same command, same behavior. I have already taught you. Then bash. See here. What has happened? Okay, -n is equal to Rajesh. See, I'm inside a container. Exit. Now you can run any other commands also. For example, you can run ls like this. You can run any command. So exec will do that. Thanks. So yeah, you can try exec command also. Now here we have a port forward. So what it says, forward one or more local ports to the pod. Okay. So local ports means host machine. This machine pod. Let me show you here, guys. Get pods -n is equal to Rajesh -oy. So this is the IP address of the pod. Can I ping from here? Say, if I am inside a cluster, I can ping. Can I ping from outside of the cluster? See here. No. So what we do in this case, then you want to use this command, kubectl port forward. Okay, so if you don't know the command, you can write like this -h lbb. Now you see here they are forwarding the port. So a lot of examples are there. You should try actually. So here port forward, which is the pod name? Pod name is here. Now my pod is running on which port? Anyone has idea? I forgot.
80
Port. So here, so
80
so first one is external, second one is internal. So like that. Okay, so this is a external and this is internal. Okay, so listen on address and all this thing you can do that. See here. Listen on port 5000 and 6000 locally. Forwarding data 5000 and 600 in the pod. Data from 5000 and 6000 in the pod. Okay. Listen on port locally. Forwarding the data onto from 5000 and 6000 in a pod selected by deployment. This is the deployment. This is service. This is my pod. Listen to the port 888 locally, forwarding to the 5000 pod in the pod. So this is a internal. This is a external. Okay. So let's do that. 80. Now 5000. Okay. I hope 5000 is not being used in my machine. So what mistake I did it? Any idea?
which space is missing?
Yeah. Clear the screen. See. Namespaces. I did it. Now see here. Bind permission denied. Here. Okay, permission denied. So what has happened? Binding permission denied because of I'm at CentOS and CentOS has no permission to engine. Just a second, hold on. Permission. Just close this. PS is not. In that PS is not there. Okay, so let me try this command with a sudo. QCTL will not. The sudo will result. So what is happening? CentOS is not having permission to Nginx. That is a problem. So I'm thinking if it is a both are root, it's very easy. I want to set up permission denied and unable to create listener. So for that, what should I do? There is a fix actually. I can set up a workstation using that user only. But I want to try something else. Something else is address. Do you have any options? Remote port. Okay. So there's only one way right now I see. Okay, let me check. Maybe I'm thinking it's permission denied, but maybe it got corrected. If it is a root, then it will happen quickly. The port number is 5000. No, 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 no. Okay. Anyone has idea what is the issues? So my system is running with a CentOS. My container is running with Nginx. That is a problem. See, you could use kubectl as a sudo, which is not recommended because I have to set up a workstation again as a sudo, which I don't want actually. Config as root. See here what they're saying. kubectl would look into the config, which I did not set it up. I can set it up with a 3 command, but I don't want to set up. I'm looking for something easier. Just a second. Okay, so they are saying if I stick to the port is less than 1024, probably that is allowed. Let me check this. So what I will do is 80. I will listen to 80 only. I don't think so I'm running on anything on that machine. Clear the screen. No, 80 also not allowed. 81. No. So that instruction will not work. Okay, so auto bind, this is a longer process. Anyways, so guys, did you understand this command? It's a -p option basically, but I'm not able to do that because of permission issues to the CentOS. Got it? Everyone? Hello?
Sure, Rajesh.
Yeah. Now next command is proxy. Here run a proxy to the API server. Why do we need a proxy? So what is happening, guys? API server is your kubectl clustered info. So this is your API server, okay? Now this API server is not accessible from outside. You see here, at the host, it's not accessible. Ping, see, from my machine it's not accessible because AWS give you a private IP address and public IP address. Private IP address is not accessible. So what do we do in this case? So kubectl proxy you can use. Okay. So here what you can do, here to proxy all of the Kubernetes API and nothing else. If you run this one, it will create a proxy to your server, and you'll be able to open up through localhost or whatever it is, the IP address. So here to proxy all, this is the command you can run. To proxy only part of the Kubernetes API and also some static files. So this is the command. Then after that you can test using curl this one. So instead of running the directly, you can run this here. See here. Curl localhost. This is a curl, you can use this. So if you run this command, they will let you use this command actually, curl. So Here you are doing this. Again, see here, if you proxy like this, you'll be able to run like this. So they will make it available for the machines using the curl, or directly you can hit that to IP address also. If you want to expose with the IP address, so proxy with some node port will be there. Something like this address you can instead of giving this one 0.0.0.0 you give, it will be accessible actually. So that way you can do that. So right now it's not needed. So let's move it. CP. What is CP? It's like a Docker CP only. You can use to copy files. So what we do is
Rajesh, can you summarize in one point what we use proxy for?
see here, right now, this, if you try to access this API server, other than kubectl, that is not allowed. Okay, so that is designed for addressing the kubectl. So for that, if you want, let's say, many Postman you can use, or curl you can use, or let's say Java libraries you want to use it, or curl, C++ library, PHP API libraries you want to use. So for those kind of, programmatically, if you want to access it, then you have to create a proxy. So how can you use it? So for example, see here, you can create a proxy using this command, and after that you can do, see here, after that you can run this command. Okay, so this command will help you to connect that your API's pod, query that resources through the local host where you run this at 8001. This is the default port actually. If you want to change the port, you can change the port through this ---- port. So that way it allows you to do that. So that way that programming can be possible. So got it? Got it? Hello?
Sorry, I think I didn't get what is a proxy used for. So it's like if we, apart from kubectl, we can't use anything. I'm sorry, can you come again?
Read this.
Yeah.
Just only selected one. And then you look at this.
So it's like when you will call from the outside, the URL, that will have another port, and internally the port will be pointed to the another, forwarded to the API server port, right? Is that the thing? So from the API server port, is it going to go to the pod or container where the data is there?
Yeah. So simple way, if you want the static content like getting informations and all, then you can use the proxy. Proxy, okay, one simple example I'll tell you. Where can you use the proxy? Example. When you run the dashboard, think about it. So when you run this is a node, okay? And here you run the dashboard pod. So dashboard is something which you can display outside. Okay, dashboard is something I will experience in my laptop, not something which I want to experience on the command line. But pod is a dashboard. So what we will do, we will proxy that dashboard pod to this machine host port. And now we will hit this host port. That's the one use cases you can do. Second, that's the first use case. Second use case is you want to get some content from the API server. See here, API server. But same time, you want to use it. See here, application level gateway. When I say application level gateway means that code API you write it through your code. So you want to access through application to the Kubernetes server for getting some information about this, let's say pod. So what do we do? So application will not run that kubectl. No, you want that information without kubectl because you have to get that information, fetch that information, convert that, so many things there. So directly you want to access through application gateway to the, when it's application gateway, it can be curl, Postman, CS, somewhere. Curl, Postman, Java API, C++ API, all these things. Then you want to get it. So you will not be able to get it directly from the API server. You have to proxy. So this kind of command will help you to proxy the content of this. Got it now?
Yes, Rajesh.
You can modify all these things. These are the non-modified. Customizable command is not there. Everything can be customized. You can change the port. You can change the address from which it should be accessible. See here. The IP address on which to serve on. If you want IP address to be network port, you put it 0.0.0.0. There's so many specifications are. Okay. Now next command is CP. So what is CP? CP basically you want to copy some files to the container or back. It's a Docker CP actually, nothing great. So kubectl cp-h. This is easier. Okay. So what you can do is cp some file touch DevOps school .txt. This file is there, okay, or let's use this file itself. So files to which pod? So I want to this pod. Which directory? Temp directory. Which namespace? Rajesh. Okay, so I'm copying this file pod.ml. Done. Now can I see that file? Exec. Which one? This one. Which namespace? This one. What you want to exec? ls. Which directory? emp. And you see pod.ml. So this is the way you can cp files, directories, up to you, whichever you want. So you can do it. Now auth. This is just for informational purpose. You can auth and you can inspect how is the connection between the kubectl and API server. Okay. Just for the troubleshooting purpose. Nothing great about it. So kubectl auth -h here. Can I do I have access for this? So auth can I create what pod? Yes, simple. So this way you learn. See, verb means create. I told you all the verb actually. Here CRUD operation. See, and resources we'll get it from the API resources. I told you. Okay. And tomorrow we'll talk about the RBAC. Then you'll understand to reconcile. Got it, guys? So these are the commands you can try it out for the pod and troubleshoot. Any questions here? Any questions, guys? Hello, are you guys there?
Yes, you can hear me. We are okay till here. I'm okay till here.
Okay. Rajesh,
See, these are all IP port and all are getting at one time, by 347. What about the load when we are attacking the load balance?
So tomorrow we are talking about the load balancer
Okay.
service. That's the service.
Okay, we need to get the IPs manually and then we have to add it, or is there any automated way it can automatically capture the IPs of all ports and then
Everything is automated, sir. Everything. We don't have to do anything. A service will do load. Discovery will be done by Kubernetes through the core DNS. I'll show you that's a magical command. It's very good.
yeah. Otherwise, if you have a number of ports getting these IPs, then it will be fine.
Yeah. Label routes. Remember that's the statement for your question.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So now next object, replication controller. So what you can do with replication? So guys, this is having two features. Let me explain it to you. Replication controller. So replication means what? You can replicate it to n number of ports. That's the one feature what you have. Okay, ports. And here controller means whatever you set, whatever number you set, it will be maintained all the time. Set. It would be maintained all the time. Okay, simple. Let me prove it and then we'll show you this. So I need a RC. See, if I go ahead and create RC, kubectl, create -h. See, RC I cannot create actually. Commands, subcommands are not there. So what do we do in this case? YAML file. So for that, replication let me get the YAML file. Sample YAML file. I'll get it. Here is the sample R replication controller. Okay, I'll get you this code. Okay, see here, replication controller version 1, name of the replication controller, how many you want pod, replicas 2, but pod template has specification containers, this container. This is my image actually, and it's Nginx only, just change the index for testing. That's all. So how many you want? 2. So let's go ahead, create it. So here virc.yaml, paste it, kubectl, create -f rc.yaml -n is equal to Rajesh. I created without explaining too much because now you know that, understand that get rc -n is equal to Rajesh. See here, I got this. Now you describe this RC. All the commands I already have taught you. So I'm not going to repeat again. What? RC, which RC? -n is equal to Rajesh. See here. Look at this. This is the RC. Okay. How many ports you have? 2. Ready. It was 0 at that time. Selector annotation ports is running, waiting, succeeded, failed. Pod template. And see who's having pods here, containers. Okay, now can I see this pod? So kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. See here, these 2 pods is controlled by a replication controller. Can I describe this? So kubectl describe pod, this one -n is equal to Rajesh. See here. Look at this, guys. This is the pod description. You should see this one. The difference between the normal pod and the pod which is controlled by replication controller is this one. This pod is controlled by replication controller. but the normal pod which you've been playing since till now will not be controlled by none. So that's important. Okay. Now everything is same. Whatever I taught you above, you can use with this. But I will teach you how can you replicate. So guys, it has a two pod right now. You see here, it has a two pod. Can I replicate to multiple? So again, remember this rule. Always remember. I created. I get it. Can I edit here? So you can edit any number of ways. You can edit RC. This one also I taught you already. Replicas 2 to 3. And what happened? Replicas 2 to 3 and save it. QCTL apply -frc -n is equal to Rajesh. Now you see here, get, see, it become a 3. See, so you can replicate as many times you want it. Right now I'm doing 3, but it can be 3,000 also. But I'm not doing it because my program will get crashed. Why? Because I have only one worker with a 2 GB. So request you to play around 5 pods. Okay. So here you see.
Rajesh, I have a small question here. What happened if pod got killed? Is a new pod will spin automatically or will the 2 pods select?
Coming. That's a controller. Give me 2-3 minutes. Okay. So now, is there any way to scale other way? So QCTL, edit RC. I'm editing. Everything I have taught you, I'm not teaching you again and again. These commands is the same command, repetitive command. See here, you can edit what you want. Replicas this time you want 4. Okay, and see here. Now you got 4. So there's another way. I'll teach you another way. There's one command called scale. Okay, scale -h. Okay, so you can also try this one, scale. Okay, so how can you do that? Get RC. You can scale also, just like you can try scale how you want. 1, see, or 3. Right now 4. Okay, RC. What is RC name? Hello RC. See, I skip -n is equal to Rajesh. See, 3. Earlier it was 4. So guys, you can do any number of way. You can replicate. These are the things I showed you. Replication feature. Okay, so 4 ways I showed you. You can edit, apply, scale, 3 ways. So guys, did you understand this replication? That means n number of pods you can get it in no time. If you have a got it? Okay. Now I'll show you the power of controller. See here, guys. Look at my screen here, guys. I have a 3 pod. See, 3 pods are there. QCTL, get pods -n is equal to Rajesh. Remember, my desire was 3. Okay, and see the power of controller. And 3 pod is there, but accident may happen, right? QCTL, delete pod. Manually I'm deleting, but not through accident. But you can understand this. I delete all this pod, manually. Nodes is offline, hardware issues, software issues. It can be any issues. I deleted all this pod. Okay. Now you see that magic. I deleted all pod. All pod has gone. Look at the ID of name of the form. And see here. Look at the age. Compare. See the magic. So when you create a pod through RC has two features. Not only you can replicate as many pods you want it, but at the same time, a controller will control your desire. That means you don't have to get up in the midnight and think that, okay, production is down for some reason. Guys, did you understand this?
Yeah, but how it will get the source information?
Source?
I mean, a replica, it will replicate, but replicate from where? When you delete it, will it have a carbon copy?
No, you forgot actually again. Let me remind you. You forgot again.
Oh, in the KV cluster storage.
Yeah. This is the API. This is
got it.
Control.
Yeah, cluster.
Yeah. Controller will immediately inform this guy. This guy will check this guy. This guy has a desired 3. Reality is 0. So this guy will say, okay, go ahead and create a 3 more. Simple. Got it?
Yeah.
So guys, this is the controller manager. Now, I will give you time for lab. So 1:35. So all these commands I have run in order to work with the replication controller. I'm updating the nodes. You can go ahead with it. And practice it. I'll give you 30 minutes for this all practicing. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Rajesh, at the initial, I have this question. At the initial stage, I don't want 3 pods. I just want to start with 1 pod.
Yeah.
And if I see there is a traffic or something, I want to increase the size number of pods.
Sir, that is also available. That's called HPA. See here. I use scale, but you can use auto scale.
Okay.
Auto scale, what will happen? You have to set the CPU. You have to install metric server monitoring tool. If the utilization is gone beyond the threshold, automatically it will go up and down.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
guys, go ahead with it and practice.
Thanks for watching. If you liked our Kubernetes session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps-related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.